Great. So I am going to edit a photo and teach you how to make a preset. For people, I'd like to be more subtle just to like help preserve skin tone. So we're not going to do anything crazy. And also, most photos are going to be around the correct exposure out of camera. So like this photo, I might want to bump the exposure more, but because I'm making a preset, I'm just going to do it a little bit. But a lot of photos look good a little brighter. It's better to shoot darker and add brightness than to shoot too bright. Bringing it back looks muddy. So we're going to increase contrast just a little bit. One rule sometimes I use is like nothing more than 10%. Bring highlights down a little bit. Make the whites whiter. Make the blacks blacker. We're going to go a tiny bit of vibrance, like 2. And another thing I like to sometimes do on these photos is like lift darks. And it just kind of creates a slightly faded look. And another thing I like to do a little bit for people photos is just add a bit of grain, and it helps soften like sharp edges. Anything else you would want to do to that photo? Oh. Okay. So this is subtle, but it'll be nice to have a subtle one. We're going to go to presets, create preset, med, Trex, people. And this should probably work on more trips than just Fiji because it's very subtle. So it just could be a great all-around one for people. And we're just going to see how that looks on another people shot. And I'm going to pick that one because I think it's great. And here we are in a people shot. I'm going to hit P, pick it. I'm going to straighten it. And then we're going to find that preset that we made over there, people. Cool. It's pretty subtle, but it makes it a little more vibrant. And then, you can do your exposure from here. Don't always count on the preset for exposure, more coloring. And then I always like that auto mode too. If you ever want to try that, down here for the transform, that's pretty cool. The auto mode straightens lines. It's pretty smart. Maybe you'd want to go a little warmer here for like a vibe. But then boom, you have like a pretty great photo there. And let's try this copy. Let's try it on this one. Paste. Maybe, so when we copy, sometimes I uncheck transform because, you're not doing the same cropping to every photo. Because that like cropped this one with that other. But like something like that, I feel like looks pretty good. Let's try this magic little tool again. So say I want to take her hair tie out. Boom. AI is crazy. That's not perfect, but to me it's less distracting than hair tie.
Would you want to like mask that side a little bit?
Oh, yeah.
Blown out?
Yeah, and you know what sometimes I like to do with masks too is like add some orange, and it makes it feel like the sun's coming from there. So like maybe go a little darker, and then you go like on the warm side, and just like ever so slightly. You don't want it to be crazy, but it feels like the sun's like setting behind there. And then like I told you before, sometimes what I'll do with the mask is clarity down, and it just brings a lot more attention to the focal point versus the background. You could even, we shot at a pretty low aperture, so the background's pretty blurry already. That was at 2.0, but you can do it a little bit afterwards too. And something I might do on this one is like take highlights down a little bit because the glasses were pretty frosty, and I feel like that's a vibe. So something in there. Food should be pretty similar to people. That people one looks pretty good on it. Here I'm just trying to like remove little things on the side that feel distracting to me. Down with vibrance a little bit, down with saturation a little bit. I'm just going to try to make a virtual copy of that, which is command apostrophe next to return, and see how the people one looks on that. Pretty good. Not perfect. I kind of liked what we did from the... They look exactly the same. Okay, let's try it on a unedited people. So again, it's pretty subtle, but it adds like a little something to the photo.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to try, Ari? Like, say we want to select just the sky and make the sky more blue.
All right, so selecting just the sky, you're going to hit the mask, this smart tool, and you're going to click sky. And then you're going to go maybe bring the exposure down a little bit.
Tiny, tiny bit.
Tiny, tiny bit. And then we're also going to do the temp down to a little bit more blue.
Good. One more thing that I showed you a little bit earlier, but a good thing to know. Sometimes that sky starts to look just a tiny bit on the purple side. So we'll go into our HSL here, and we'll go into the hue of the blue. And so this ranges from like purple to green, essentially. You just ever so slightly, or sorry, let's do it on this one. This is purple to teal. Just ever so slightly, we're going to take it away from that purple side. And to me, that looks more true to color.
What if you wanted to make the water a little bit more green? Because
Sure.
that's what it looked like in my eyes.
Yeah, absolutely. It was very turquoise. So let's go, let's go brush. This brush is pretty smart. You can make it bigger or smaller, but what I'm going to do is just kind of, with this brush, I'm selecting the water, and usually it's a bit more smart than that. Maybe, oh, you know what? Oops. Let's try it with objects. So the objects one is pretty good. Yeah, that's the one that's smart. Okay. So you're going to select what you can. Oh, sorry. Let me try a different way. Okay, so let's go to the masks. So the people one is really easy. Color range sometimes. Okay, well, I kind of grabbed a little bit too much. Okay, let's try, this is actually sometimes works good. So like select subject, and then there's a way to do inverse of it. Sorry, hold on. I think we'll do this one without a mask actually. And we'll go just to the color. So in saturation, we're gonna saturate the aqua a bit, and the green and the blue. And then maybe we'll do like a little mask here. And a little green. Oh, that looks good. Or like a little saturation. Same here, just like a little fade mask there. Saturation. A little on the green side. Yeah, beautiful. Sometimes bringing blacks down makes it pop. And that photo looks pretty good. Oh, let's desaturate yellows a bit. Oh, I love that. Much better. Cool. So let's try this on another one. We're going to go to, well, let's try the Medtrex 2 one. That seems to be the best. Medtrex Tropical 2. Awesome. Looks pretty good. That preset's working really well. I'm going to grab shadows and lift a bit. And I'm just going to ever so slightly straighten this. And I'm going to desaturate yellows a little more. Sometimes I'll go into the hue here and I'll drag the color of the green from a yellow green to more of a blue green. That's another good trick. And that looks lush to me and awesome. Let's pick that one. Oh, our amazing lunch. I'm holding shift to keep that same crop ratio. And let's try the Command C copy. See if it works on this one. Paste. Pretty good. Like a little lower here, a little less highlights, like a little in here, something. Cool. Let's try that copy. Let's pick that one and paste. Cool. We have a nice light and bright day. The clarity in the water looks awesome. Honestly, you like hardly need to do anything to these. So pretty. We're going to pick that one and we're going to copy. And let's try editing this one again. I didn't love that other edit. Let's see. I'm going to edit this one from scratch. I'm going to bring the shadows up a little bit. Exposure up. Let's try that auto for the crop. Pretty good. I like it. And let's just see what the subject mask. Okay, yeah, I kind of wanted them to be a little brighter. Sometimes it chooses what you want. Sometimes you're not so sure. But I think that looks pretty good. It kind of makes those people in front pop a bit more. I like that. And I kind of want to make the sky a little darker. So let's try mask sky. And so again, it just has the sky. I'm very careful with exposure not to be too crazy because it could see how it can start to look muddy. So just a little bit, maybe like the 10% rule. Sometimes I'll go down with highlights. That'll like make the clouds pop. And once you get this muddy look, like you're going to get it a little bit, that's when changing the temp kind of fixes that. And in doing so, sometimes with that, you need to refine the blue a bit in the hue. So we'll drag that blue from the aqua is just like crazy. It's like make sure you hit enter. All these actions just on. So in